It's Friday. Oh my gosh, it is Friday. Hey, hey. My voice is coming back as slowly. You can hear it's starting to sound more melodic, more like the good witch and less like the bad witch. Huh? Huh? And here, this is Maxximillian, chilling with my friend and the first finger drummer on the blockchain, the one and only GodCloud. Take it away, GC.
Yo, what up, y'all? How we feeling? I'm chilling. Yo, I got my Jags thing, original 1996 Jags, and I got on my Nirvana shirt too. It's a guitar that Kurt Cobain designed with Fender before he died. It's from the first run. But yeah, I'm here. I'm stoked. GodCloud, first finger drum on the blockchain. Check me out at godcloud.org. That's GODCLOUD.org. I'm getting better at saying that really fast. And yeah, happy to be here. We got a lot of cool stuff to talk about. I'm really passionate about productivity, so I'm keen to get into this one and break it down and share some of my habits that I think are good habits. So let's go.
Excellent. Well, I'm super excited to get into today's topic. But before I do, let me invite everyone to join the Telegram. There's a Telegram, it's the future Telegram. So you can find just very soon, so very soon, you'll find nicely edited episodes and some really great snippets from past conversations that you might have missed. So all those things will be in this future channel, along with like any new drops from GodCloud. And you're also welcome to come and share your drops and your announcements. It's a really great place to connect with like on-chain technology, all the nerdy music technology stuff that I find. Don't worry, I won't keep it to myself. I'm going to drop it in the future Telegram. So go ahead and scan that QR code if you'd like to join us there. You are invited. So, GodCloud, on to today's topic. So, like, I gotta say, going on tour with you and the whole Third Planet Studio family was incredible. Being on tour with GodCloud, Clayjon the Trap violinist, Adabody, Denise, Creatress, um, Angel, Lion's Den, Mosaic Calloway, Mental Stamina, so many legends, and so many more that we ended up performing with day after day, even though they weren't maybe officially on our tour. We still got their vibes, every day sharing the stages. So it was such an amazing experience, and I I have to say, I enjoyed it a lot more than I expected, and it was a lot more fun than all the people try to make it seem like. My entire life, I've grown up around musicians, and nobody ever says that they enjoy going on tour. Even the people who have nice budgets, even my most famous friends of all, they say that life on tour is hard. And, nobody really says it's wonderful, but I really, truly enjoyed every moment. And I think part of that is because I'm an only child. So for me, the togetherness was like very special. And, also I think we all had, our own space, and we had like aligned values, each of us wanting to make content, and also wanting to be supportive to each other. So I think there's a lot to be said about like chemistry, but I've got to hand it to you. I saw you constantly making content, and GodCloud, how do you do it?
I mean, it's hard, yo. I'm not gonna say it's easy, but I think what makes it easier is kind of getting a template of what you do.
Mhm.
Like my videos are cool backdrop, and I've actually started shortening my videos I'd say over this past year, or trying to get them shorter, as I've noticed that people will stick around for like maybe like the first 30 to 45 seconds.
Mm.
um so I'm trying to like just do like a quick little snippet of something cool, view, banging bass, cool loop, you know and as long as I've got that set up in my drum machine, then I can kind of do the bigger content of what what I want to do. But also, um, for with that being kind of like the main dish of what I do, right? I have the other like let's call it like the sides of what I do. You know what I mean? And as long
Of
as I'm
course,
sticking,
food.
yeah, right. I gotta take advantage of it all the time, all the time.
Give me those sides, brother. Give me those sides.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I got. What do I got? What do we got here? What do we got here? Okay, so we got the main thing that you're eating, then we got some mashed potatoes and we got the broccoli, right? And I'm always doing something to that effect, you know what I mean? Some days the mashed potatoes might have some cheddar in it, might have some gorgonzola. The broccoli might be steamed, or it might be sauteed, or it might have some, some cream sauce on it, but it's always this same kind of base layer of, this like base layer of ingredients, right? So at the top, you're gonna get my finger drumming videos, cool view, 30 to 40 something seconds, whatever. Snap it on a drum machine. Then you might get some stuff of me, being funny, walking around the area, being funny. Here's the mashed potatoes, right? Like, oh shit, like, yo, this, oh man, what's that?
Are these gorgonzola mashed potatoes?
Yeah, I can say these ones with the gorgonzola. Yeah. Which I thought was like kind of weird until I had it. I was like, okay, I love blue cheese anyway.
I'm telling you, oh my gosh, like I don't know if I should like eat it or rub it all over myself. I love it too.
Yeah. Yeah. I call it blooch. I'll be like, yo, daddy about to that blooch. And the baby like, daddy, why you love blooch?
Oh no.
Yeah, I fucking love it.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Blooch.
Yeah.
Oh, now I gotta put it in a song.
Yeah.
If you didn't know what it was, what would you think it is?
Blue cheese? Oh, blooch, you mean? If
Blooch.
you didn't know what blooch was, oh shit. Like, I honestly think it might be like some kind of drink or something.
An adult beverage, perhaps a malt liquor.
Yeah. It's definitely like a sweet
Seagram's blooch.
Yo. Like, yo, yeah, right. You want ice in that? Want this shit on the rocks? No. All right.
I suck the ice cubes at the end? Oh.
Yeah. I feel like it's definitely got like some strawberry like syrup in it or something. It's got like strawberry syrup. It's
Blooch.
good. It's you know what? Now I'm gonna have to make some. I'm gonna have to make some blooch. I'm gonna be fucking nuts, yo. No, you know what blooch is?
What?
It's hypnotic. It's hypnotic.
Stop! I was totally thinking
with
hypnotic.
some strawberry in it to make it purple.
No, wait a minute. Isn't there something? Isn't it called something? There's a menu of hypnotic drinks. You know this, right?
I do not. Here I go.
So I don't know what that's called, but I'm pretty sure there's a menu of drinks and it tells you if you add this, it tells you the color and it has like a little name. Like last time we were talking about this, you mentioned the Hulk. Remember the Incredible Hulk?
Yeah.
So what did you just say that you would put to make it purple?
Some strawberry like puree syrup that they have. I think that'd be nice. I think that'd be a good flavor.
Let's go.
But yeah, so anyway, back to the thing. So yeah, and this is something that you can use, for any type of thing. I think as long as you've got these like this template ready. So again, like the finger drumming videos, then some videos that'll just be of me being like, oh man, like, yo, I'm here, I'm whatever, oh man, like this is funny, ha 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 ha. And then maybe something like a little bit something like kind of behind the scenes, showing like, yo, I'm getting this loop together, about to shoot over here, or like what I will do is make it like a today's office post. You know what I'm saying? Like, about to like, yo, I found this view. Like, yo, this about to be wild. Like, oh, we're working with this loop today. What am I gonna do with that? You know?
I'm
And
making notes.
yeah, and when you're doing this stuff,
Huh.
it all it's almost evergreen, you know, because
Absolutely.
you can take because I still do this shit to this day. Like if I shoot something in the summer
Yeah.
and let's say I'm like, damn, like I'm busy, I can't get to know, I can't get to make some new content or get to, do whatever. It's
Mhm.
wintertime now. Shot something in the summer. Damn, I miss the summertime. Boom. Can share that then. Like, yo, remember when it was hot out, y'all? Y'all remember the sun? Oh wow. You know, and that's something breaking up the timeline too, because you're probably seeing a bunch of snowy videos. Oh man, I'm trying to shovel my fucking walkway, da 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 da, or whatever, you know what I mean? And seeing something like that, it's like, oh shit, like damn, and I remember when he first posted that, like, yo, it's cool to see, like, oh, now I'm let me watch it a little longer now, or some shit, you know?
So GodCloud, so you bring up something that brings a question to mind. So I want to jump in and ask you this. So like, one of the questions that often is discussed among my artist friends is the decision and or the line between what do we share on social media that adds value, right? Because like I know that there's some topics that you're really passionate about, and I noticed that you're really good at categorizing, kind of compartmentalizing your different interests among your different social media channels. Because one thing I know for sure is that the algorithm does not like complexity, right?
Right.
Like and so I know that's true. And could you maybe talk about that a little bit, go a little bit into detail because I think that's like something that's really helpful to mention.
Yeah. So you gotta, how can I put this? It's almost like kind of like you're code switching. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I do know.
because you can't, like, I know that when I'm at my grandma's house, I can't like act like how I do when I'm home. You know what I mean? Like when I'm at my grandma's house, I'm probably not gonna be like cussing like I do. You know, be
Oh my
like,
gosh.
like I'm not gonna say, "Yo, the fuck going on at my grandma's house?" You know, that's not something I'm gonna say. You
Oh
know,
my gosh.
so yeah, you got to kind of know where you're at and what, like, and I'll just say, what I do. Like, so on TikTok, I'm really heavy about the politics. Like, I post music sometimes because I do have people who fuck with my music there, but and this is always why I hate when people are like, "Oh, well, even though we disagree politically, I still like me." Like, no, fuck you. Don't like my music. Like, this ain't about
What?
politics. Like, this
Hey,
about
listen,
fucking.
everybody. I don't feel like GodCloud. Look, I'm not turning down nothing but my collar. Just I don't feel no way near no way like GodCloud. No, you can
Yo,
disagree with
nah,
me. Buy my music. Yes, buy, buy,
not me, yo. I'll be like, yo, like you fuck with that orange motherfucker. Nah.
buy.
but but no. So like
Give me
I'm
monies.
known to post more, like I know that I can like talk my political shit on trying to get myself centered here. I keep like moving the camera the wrong way. Here we go. No, I want to go this way. Let's get the keyboard in here. Sorry. So yeah, I know like kind of what I presented more. Like if I posted like a lot more music somewhere, I'm gonna keep
Yeah.
doing that. But TikTok, I just got a great response from doing the political shit. So that's what I'm running with, And I also will be like, hey, I make music too, and it's really cool when people are like, "Damn, yo, like your political takes are fire, and so are your beats." Like I got a comment like that one time, and that just made my whole fucking day. Um, so so yeah, like
But where do you draw the line? But where do you draw the line on other things? So, like you mentioned, for example, about like those nice weather posts or whatever like that. Like, do you have like what other content verticals do you share that isn't the music or the politics or like, or do you not? Do you pretty much just only post, art? Because some people you look and they only share the work because they're like, oh, my private life is private. Other people they share a special dinner or, so I'm just wondering if you have any kind of like content policies for yourself that maybe could be helpful to think about.
Nothing really to the point where I'm like, well, okay, so I'm
Yes.
wary about. I post a little bit about my like real life on. Well, I mean, it's so blended together. Like I know, like some people are, you know, they're like a character. Like I'm GodCloud. Like I don't know if you ever seen when in the there's in one of the DC comics where Batman and Superman are grabbing Wonder Woman's lasso,
Yes.
right?
Oh,
And
just
she
the
says,
lasso.
"What?" She's like, "What are your names?" And Superman says, "Oh, my name's Clark Kent and or Kal-El," right? And Batman is like, "I'm Batman." He's holding the lasso of truth, so it's making him tell the truth. He's telling the truth, and his answer to what
Oh.
his real name is "I'm Batman," and that's like I'm GodCloud. Like, yes, I have a real name, whatever the fuck you want to call it, but I like this. Like GodCloud
Mr. GodCloud.
is me. Like
Mm.
I've become not even like I've become this, but this is like what I've
It's
just
evolved
me.
into you.
Yes, yeah, that's what I've grown to be. You know what I mean? And on my
I understand
page,
this.
I'll share, some stuff here or there about the family. I mean, like, oh, hey, here's me. But I do have a lot of enemies, so I'm wary about how
Oh,
much I.
you have enemies, do
Yeah.
you? Well, how do you define it? How do you define an enemy? Because I noticed that you said enemy and not hater or frenemy. So how are you defining an enemy,
I'd say an
for the
enemy is
record?
somebody who consistently like stalks your shit and reports your shit. This is one thing. Like, you can have haters because haters,
That's what I call a hater.
but haters will just kind of sit in the background and just
That's a
like not
sideline.
comment.
That's a sideline hater.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, haters and enemies, I'd say they're all on the same ballpark, but
Mm,
the enemies, I feel like a hater will just be like, I don't like your shit. But enemies are gonna go after your family. They're gonna go and see who,
yes.
you talk shit about my fucking kid, like I'm going to, if I see you in person, I'm it's gonna be bad
Well,
for everybody. But this is what I get. This is what I get. That's the type of shit that I get. So I
mm,
try to, seldomly do I post like family stuff, but
yeah.
sometimes like fuck it, like yo, like we out here, we having some fun posting it, and I do like my food, I used to be a chef and everything,
You're
but
still a chef, just not for
oh yeah,
others.
it's not working for some other motherfucker, but yeah, I like, I don't know if you saw on Twitter the other day where I was posting like my progress with the steak or with the roast that I was making and everything. Yeah, so I just
No, I
posted,
missed it.
yeah, sometimes we'll be like, yo, this shit is going down. Like, y'all got to see this shit. But what I know that does the best is me being consistent with a wake up post, music related, GM. Hey, check this out. And this is for Twitter. Then throughout the day, I might just say some random shit. Just might even be a text. Be like, yo, like, why are they called the village people? Aren't they just villagers? Technically, some shit like that, just some weird like shit like that, that gets people thinking, talking, whatever. Maybe some memes here or there, but again, the majority of what I do is those three things. It's the finger drumming video, here we go. It's the finger drumming video, the kind of behind the scenes stuff, and then the shit was, oh yeah, then maybe me doing like something funny, being like, hey, like, yo, look at this fucking funny sign or some shit. You know what I mean?
So like when you're doing these posts, do you post right away or do you just make the video and post it later? Like even if later is a few minutes later, because that's one thing I notice is like sometimes it's a convenient time to capture the video, but sometimes the posts can take a long time, to fucking get the hashtags and so on. I mean, it depending on what platform you're on or to write something thoughtful or um, even to make it put your signatures on it. Like if you, use captions or, you know, like, you know, because some of your videos, especially yours, GodCloud, you're talking like, you know, so do you make the video and then post it right there, or?
Well, no, not all the time. I like to try to be, you know, prepared and have some stuff like lined up in advance. Like at one point when I was really uh like on top of things and like really hammering it home. And honestly, I can get more work done on the road than at home because there's less like distractions out there. Even though the road is the road, whatever. But you know, there's always, you know, baby always wants to play. There's always a million things happening at home, so it's really hard for me to just make like 5 videos
Yeah.
in, you know, time frame.
How long does it take you to make a video? I'm just curious because I feel like I'm really slow. Yeah, I always feel like I'm like, oh.
I think my stuff is downstairs. I was going to show you what I use, but as long as I can get like a clean take with
Yeah.
what, you know, with the performance, it doesn't take long at all. I can put it together in less than 5 minutes. Honestly, if everything is going according to plan, I can put a video together in 5 minutes. That's the thing. Like I've got the process down to where it's so fucking fast. It's like I can just set up, put the camera, bow. As long as drum machine's loaded up and ready to go, I can real quick make a finger drum video like that. And what was the game changer for me was I got this little adapter that goes from USB to Lightning, so I can make the beat in my drum machine, send the beat to a USB drive, then stick the USB drive into the adapter, hook that to my phone, get the beat from that to my phone, match it up with the video in my editor, export it, it's ready to go.
Wait a minute. Get the beat on your phone.
Yeah, because so when I
play, you mean like getting? Oh, you mean like live? You're recording it live to your phone?
No. Well, no. So when I'm doing the video, right? Like, let's say this is a drum machine. It's not. It's just it's my live graffiti art that I'm making. I'm trying to.
Yeah.
But so I got the drum machine, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I got the phone filming, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna press record, okay?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna start playing.
Uh-huh.
It's gonna record what I played in the box.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just the clean, direct, perfect audio, right?
Yes.
So I've got the video on my phone, right? I export the audio from the drum machine.
Oh, got it.
Into USB key.
And you edit it on your phone?
Yeah. I do everything on my phone. Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah. Everything I do on my phone. I don't do anything on a laptop or nothing. It's all on my phone. So, so yeah. So that's what makes it quick. And I can just set up, boom, get it done, ready to go. And that works really well for when, you know, and like I said, I got my template in mind. Like, all right. And basically too, I can hit all three things, like I mentioned, like the finger drumming video, the behind the scenes, and the kind of like walking around like day in the life almost type stuff.
You have an Android?
What's that?
Do you have an Android, or are you iPhone guy?
iPhone.
Me too. Okay, so what app are you using to cut your videos together?
I use Power Director. It's called Power.
Making notes.
Yeah. So picture this, right? So picture that I see a cool mural, right?
Okay.
Like there's a cool mural somewhere. I'm like, okay, I want to shoot in front of that. So I'll get my camera out, be like, yo, what's going on, y'all? GodCloud here. I'm out in Austin today, chilling out, walking around for South by Southwest. Yo, I'm with the squad. Say what up, squad. Yo, squad says what up. All right. Now, I go up to the mural, take a picture of it, maybe have my drum machine like on the case in the shot, take that picture, post that today's office, you know? So right now we got two of the things. Then I sit down in front of the mural and do the video. Okay. And that probably took, let's be generous and say that that took 15 minutes. And I've got 3 pieces of content right there, just in that little bit. And if you can do that, if you can think that way, you can get your content for the day, for the next day, in, you know, in an hour. You spend 15 minutes doing 3 videos like that in an hour, you've got 4 days worth of content, you know?
Okay. I like that.
Here, I'm gonna go turn my light on really quick. It's just getting dark.
I like that tip a lot. It's kind of like now it's going to be me bringing up food, because actually I almost never make one dish. I make like 4 to 6 dishes at the same time. I'm like cutting up onions for 6 dishes. I'm cutting up, the vegetables for like all the dishes at once, so that I don't have to keep washing all the machines.
Yeah, right. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And that, when you do it like that, you can always use that stuff in different ways. And even when if I'm building like routines or whatever, and I got the guitars out, now I can tap into that also, be like, hey, yo, and that's something, and it's different because it'll stand out. It's still music related, but
Mm-hmm.
out more when all you're seeing is me playing the drum machine. When you see
Mm-hmm.
a guitar now, it's like, whoa, shit, like he's playing guitar. Now you get to see a little bit more behind the scenes, and that catches people's attention as well. So thinking about what you do, kind of like breaking it up and even compartmentalizing the individual components, that builds more content as well. You know what I'm saying? Um, and also, this is something I will always say to do: shout out the brands that you use. Like,
Mm.
I use Akai, I use Reason, I use Fender guitars. Like, I never forget. Like, it was, yeah, like, yo, when like Fender commented on one of my posts, they liked something and they left a comment on another post back in the day on my old Twitter account. And yo, you couldn't tell me fucking shit. You couldn't tell me shit after that. I'm like, yo, Fender just likes some of my fucking shit.
Yo.
Like fuck yeah.
Oh. Oh my
And
gosh.
yeah,
Well,
that shit made my fucking life.
I know that I'm pretty sure that I shouted out Presona Studio One when I did my performance, because I'm a simp and I always am so grateful, because I feel like so much of what I do is possible because of their amazing contributions to my creativity. So I'm glad that that's like a thing to do, because I definitely always want to, um, you know.
No, do that shit because you know, that's how Reason hit me up. Like, I would watch when they were having updates and shit. Watch for when companies are having sales. If you have their stuff already, like I did that shit for XLN, which I think they were having a sale on their VST Life, and I did a little video,
Mm.
and they shared that. And I'm always catching content anyway of just like whatever. Um, so yeah, it was. I think I took my daughter's voice and chopped it up in their thing and made a whole beat out of it, and it was thumping, and they loved it and they shared it, and it was fucking really cool, and that gets more eyes on you. So just keep thinking about different things within your template that you can do, and it makes it a lot easier because then you're not struggling like fuck new ideas, fuck I need what am I gonna do? Like, oh my god, it just makes it so easy if you can be consistent and boom, 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 keep pushing it out. And even to go back to the political shit, like with this fucking administration, you just
Oh
gotta
my
you just
God.
gotta wait a little bit. Just give it like 5 minutes. They gonna do some goofy shit, screenshot that shit,
Oh,
make the green screen, and oh my god, the green screen is the fucking best, yo. Like the
oh
green
yeah.
screen was paying the bills for a minute, yo. Like just green
So you
screen.
can point over your shoulder and be like, this guy here, blah, blah, blah.
Yep. That green screen shit is the best, yo.
That's so funny.
But yeah, and you know, when you're on the road, everybody. Okay, so and I wanted to comment on this too.
Huh.
Like anytime I was on the road in the past, that shit fucking sucked. Like we got really pampered with Third Planet. Like they fucking pampered out of us, you know, and that was really nice. But like there's so much opportunity. You're somewhere, like two things. You're somewhere that either someone has been already or that somebody wants to go when you're on the road and traveling.
Ooh,
And
that's one thing to think about. I didn't think about it that way.
yeah, and you've got the power to film that with these little magic fucking rectangles that we keep in our pockets. And just share the shit out of that and either, you know, trigger some nostalgia with somebody or give somebody else a first-hand glimpse at yo, here's this place. Oh, you never been to Texas? It's my first time here. It's my first time there. So I'm like, shit, I'm getting all this shit, you know? Like, there's no reason. Let me take that back. There's no worthwhile reason to be like watching a movie or like hanging out, like shit, like unless you really gotta like rest, unless you're fucking beat, which something, you know, when I travel, I like to get a day so where I can just rest before I start.
There was that one day that I went to bed at like 10 o'clock and I know all y'all motherfuckers was vibing and making records and stuff, but I was so done. I didn't get enough protein. I was hungry. I was so grumpy. I was like, y'all.
Nah, I think that one day after the shows, I was fucking wiped out. But you know, I took the time to just aggregate all my content, see what videos I had, see what's going on. You know, so yeah. So if you're out and about somewhere, just remember that you're somewhere that somebody's been already, or that somebody hasn't been and they want to go there, and you can play on that. That's something to, you know, like, hey, like, have you been to Texas? Tell me about it. Or if you haven't, tell me about what you want to do there. You know, that's conversation starter shit. And that also falls on, you know, the what I saw in my life, the day in the life, like walking around, just saying like, yo, check this shit out, you know, and just think of different ways to start a conversation with this same template. There's so much stuff that you can do within it that you don't get option paralysis, and you can just keep being consistent and you get your style down. But it's always fresh too, you know, because you want to have your own like style, but you don't want it to be repetitive, you know?
I mean, like, are you out doing stuff like all the time? Like, what about what about one of those days where you're tired? Let's just say. And you literally, maybe you don't go out. What kind of a content might you make on those days?
On those days, that's when I'll either share some old shit. It's reruns today, y'all. We haven't left those shit, you know. Yeah, I might, you know, do
reruns, that's
share some
hilarious.
old stuff, you know,
Yeah.
or I might even just take a picture of my drum machine and be like, yo, I love this thing. You know? Like, because even in the picture, it tells a story. Just like even right now, like I'll pull this drum pad up. Like you see all the wear on those pads. Like,
see, were you nibbling on French fries before you were playing that, or?
But one thing,
no, it's just the oil from our fingers over time, I'm sure, you know.
No, this is like wear from the pad is like gone. There's material gone from the pad from my fingers hitting it all the time. But the thing with a lot of people, they usually get pad wear on like down here, right? seldom is it like all the way across. So I'll take a picture, bring that up. Like, yo, bet y'all don't got pad wear up here like this, you know?
That's a big,
Like,
somehow that's a flex.
right, exactly. Yeah, right, right. Like, I play my shit like an instrument, and I can say so much with just a picture. And I'm tired that day. I'm fucking tired. I'm tired. I don't want to post nothing, you know? But hey, I'll post an old video from wherever and mention like, oh, damn, like I've lost weight since this. But now it's an inspirational thing on a whole other level. Or damn, like, yo, can't believe I used to play on these stiff ass drum machines back in the day. Oh, wow. Anybody remember using these old ones? You know, like there's
You know what,
always, oh, go, yeah.
Cloud? You know what? You just gave me the best idea. I had to tell you right away, or else I might have forgotten it. But you know what? I always leave you voice notes. Did my voice notes make you laugh?
Yeah, of course, yeah. When they're funny ones, yeah. But not the, you know, I laugh at the appropriate ones, and then
I try to make.
like, oh damn.
I try to make even the hard ones funny, right? But yeah. So no, I'm listening to you. I was like, oh my god. I was like, voice notes, because that's kind of my medium is voice notes.
Yeah,
And so I'm thinking like I could do voice notes over. So like I could do voice notes over the videos or over the photographs for myself.
Yeah, because I've had some stuff go viral off me just doing funny voiceovers and shit, like
Yeah.
just being goofy, you know, and that's got me like millions of views and shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just I think the other thing too is to not overthink it. The key
That's
is to,
hard.
yeah, because I
Everything.
noticed. Sorry, but I noticed that.
Everything.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're saying not overthink it, and it's like I think it's just like we're coming out of it now, but I feel like definitely like the last 8 years, it really has seemed like the culture to like be making content. It has to have a beginning, a middle, and end. People are like, I think of like we're entering a new era where off the cuff is the vibe right now.
Yeah. No, yeah. And I notice like when I take all this time to make some videos sometimes that they won't do as well. But when I'm just like first take, raw reaction, let's go, that's what people are responding to the most. And even with the finger drumming videos, like, because they're not ever like perfect, you know, because I'm out and about. I can't hear all the time. Like a car will drive by, I can't fucking hear, but I can't stay in this spot for much longer because, you know, it's just whatever. I just can't sit here. I'm not trying to sit here for like 20 minutes trying to nail the perfect fucking take, you know. So like I get what I get, and I'm out of there. And to even see that shit still make an impact, it's like, okay, cool. Like people respect the gotta go-ness of this, you know, the like, yeah, I'm setting up here, getting this, I'm out, boom. So yeah, you know, like,
Hey, that by the way, real quick, let me just
yeah.
before you move on, it reminds me of when we were all in South by Southwest, uh, to see you set up and like busk on the corner. I really
Yeah.
didn't expect that guy to come along and start rapping with you.
Yeah, I mean,
And he wasn't bad either. He was way better than I would have expected. The way he just rolled up on us like that with his dog and
yeah.
everything. Like I didn't expect he was gonna be like. He actually had some bars. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I didn't like him touching my hair, but
I know, bro. I know.
I was like, hey, bro.
I was like, ah. Did you see me? I was like,
No, I didn't.
are we gonna be
I
okay?
haven't looked.
I was watching very closely. I was like watching. I was like, wow.
Yeah, it's like, you know, I'm looking at the drum machine and shit, you know, do it.
At first I thought that you bobbed your head because I saw your hair move and I thought you went like this. And then I was like, is that his hand near the hair? Ah! Don't touch it!
Yeah, I don't know. Like I get like, don't touch me, dude. Ah, ugh. But yeah, you know.
He worked it into his freestyle. Now this is a real question. Did he work your hair into the freestyle so he could touch it, or was it the other way around?
Yeah. You know what? I think he had to, because I was like, when he touched it, I looked up and was like, yo, like, hey, as I said so, I was like, hey, like I said, so, you know, I'm doing my thing. Everybody's filming and shit. I probably should have been like, don't fucking touch me. That shit would have gone viral, yo.
No.
But
he probably will never wash that hand ever again.
Hope he likes tea tree oil.
He kind of caught you, he caught you off guard there. It's kind of like, I won't say who it was, but it's kind of like this one time it was late at night. I was at a conference and I was trying to get into the Airbnb with my friend. And it was a sticky door. And I had one hand on the key and I had the other hand on the doorknob. And I don't know, I guess since my hands were both occupied, it might have seemed like a good time to try to steal a kiss. It wasn't, but it reminds me of that same energy.
Like, bro, don't think his fucking fingers running out. Fucking start face punching on this bitch.
But it was the same energy, yes or no?
No, yeah.
You had your hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? If you had the drumsticks, I don't think he would have made that same move. Not by a long shot.
And it's just weird, like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, and now even think about it, like, if it was a man going to a woman grabbing her hair like that, like, what?
Oh my gosh.
What? Like,
look, the guys do that all the time. Let me tell you what I saw on that same trip, okay? And you know what? Man who did this, I hope you're watching because this is totally about you. But like I swear I saw this. There was a half moon full of people. There's a half moon of people. It was like 5 people standing in a half circle. And there was this gal. Now I'm going to be honest. She had some of the prettiest hair I had ever seen in my life. It looked like she just stepped out of a Pantene commercial. It was like white blonde hair, and it wasn't like, it was moist. It was like silk. It was very pretty. Like she must have just had it ironed. Like I'd never seen hair like this before. It was very pretty. But the creepy thing I saw was she was standing in the middle talking to all of these guys. When she leaned to hug the guy in the middle, the guy on the end grabbed up a handfuls of her hair and smelled it like it was, he went like this, like a peasant, like, and he
like
sniffed.
Awesome beggar shit though. Like
it was like, you know, it was like, and it was on the sly. He did it on the sly. You could tell he was practiced because he did it without touching her and dropped the hair gently too. She had no idea that she had been sniffed. Same energy.
Yeah. That's yeah. And I'm like, yo, fam, don't touch me.
I'm glad he didn't smell it. I'm glad he didn't go,
bro. Like, don't touch me. Like, get it. Like, why are you doing this, bro? Like, and I always gotta stop myself. You know, like I got my situation, so I can't just be like starting fights, cause scenes and shit. You know, because that could have some more repercussions for me. This shit that, like, you know.
And I'm sure there's so many people that do want to touch your hair.
Yeah, and it's annoying. And don't.
You hear that, everyone? Don't touch the dreadlocks.
Like, don't touch it. Just please don't. I don't know where your hands have been. Just
do people ask?
No, people, like people just come over there like, oh man, like look at that big dreadlock. Oh, I remember one time.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I remember one time my grandfather, I'm sitting at the table and he's sitting next to me, and I can kind of see him at the corner of my eye, like he's getting like closer to me. And all of a sudden, I just feel like, and I'm like, hey, what the fuck? He's like, that's your real hair?
Oh my God!
I'm like, yeah. And even,
oh my God.
Even if it wasn't, why the fuck would you pull it? At the dinner table.
Oh my gosh. You're making me think of that video you showed me of that performance where the guy was performing on the stage and the dancer hugged him and his whole hairstyle changed.
Yo, I think that was a fan that jumped up on stage and was like,
"Oh no, it's even worse."
That was a downhill fucking.
Oh no,
that situation spiraled quickly, yo.
Oh no. Oh gosh, it's tough. But you bring up an interesting point though. Everyone has like different boundaries. I mean, like everyone has different boundaries, but I think it's probably never okay to go up to someone you don't know and touch their hair. Especially if they're performing. Probably shouldn't do that.
Oh yeah. People get mad about that shit though. If you say like, hey, don't touch me. Remember I almost got into a fight with some lady because she like walked into the store and like grabbed my daughter. She was like, just like grabbed her arm.
Oh, like she's so cute, right? Like she had
aggression,
cuteness or something.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, don't touch her. I'm like, don't touch my baby. And she's like, I'll never forget this shit. She was like, what? And I'm like, yeah, don't touch my daughter. And
with your grubby hands, lady.
Yeah, she got so mad, but she was in like nursing scrubs and shit. And I'm like, yo, you're coming from somewhere where clearly there's sick people. Like, you work at the sick store, so don't touch my kid. And she goes,
you work at the sick store.
She's like, shit. You ain't wearing that shit around healthy people. Like,
she might have been a dental hygienist or work at the OBGYN, or maybe she looks at vaginas all day.
Yeah, then don't get your freaking pussy fingers on my baby. Fuck out of here with that shit. And she literally goes in the store. She was like, you got a whole ankle monitor on, and you telling me not to touch your baby? I'm like,
ma'am, that's exactly why you shouldn't touch this man's baby. The whole ass ankle monitor. That situation right there is your signal.
Yeah. Clearly, I don't give a fuck.
Off.
So
clearly. Oh gosh, she's like, she needed more signal. Lady, let me help you get the signal. Hey,
right. And the funny shit out of that situation was she was trying to get other people to be on her side. Then another dude with the ankle monitor walked in, and nobody's having it. You know what I mean? And then me and this guy, we start comparing the ankle monitor. I'm like, yo, bro, is that the one you got to charge? He's like, yeah, man, I hate having to charge this shit. I'm like, yeah,
wait, you have to charge it?
I didn't have the charge one. He had to charge it.
He had to plug into the wall like Rosie on the Jetsons.
I'm like, damn, dude, that sucks. I'm like, that. I thought mine was bad. I'm like, fuck, his was big. His looked like an old flip phone, dude. Mine was small. Mine looked like I don't have anything here, but I had the small joint. I had like a sleek one. I was like, all right, like this one. And again, back to content. I made a fucking series of content about the goddamn ankle monitor, yo. I made a bunch of content around that shit, and it was kind of like an Easter egg in some videos. But then when I cut it off, or when I could finally go outside at night, I was like, yo, I'm outside at night. Look, yay. Here's a figure on video of me outside at night,
Do you think GodCloud, like, I love that about you. You have such a good natured humor about um the adversities that, that you've come through, right? And so like I'm curious, like how do you decide like what's too personal to share, or like how do you decide if you're gonna be serious about something or joke around about it, or how do you decide?
No shit. I mean, I just kind of let it be natural, and if something's too shit, good question, because sometimes
Yes.
I'll see something and I'm like, damn, like that person shared that shit. Like, oh fuck. Like,
Wait, about you or just
also,
in general?
no, just about themselves. If somebody shares
Okay.
something that I'm like, damn, that's some real personal shit, but goddamn, like that's also me. Like, fuck, like I felt that shit, and then I start thinking like, okay, like that. uh if somebody inspired me like that, then maybe I could inspire someone else with, sharing something, personal too. Like, obviously, I mean, all of us aren't just sharing every fucking, or maybe some people are sharing everything, and that's, you know, what you've been in Twitter spaces, motherfuckers be telling their whole fucking shit.
No, not anymore. Not like Clubhouse. The Clubhouse, they would
Oh,
Clubhouse was like armchair city.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
On
yeah.
Twitter, people might share like deeply into their, I don't know, Twitter, at least the spaces that I'm in, it seems to be more like entertainment. It's more like talk radio. People are sharing deeply about things that don't matter very much.
Yeah. Okay.
Or
And
you
I
know what I
yeah.
mean? Or I shouldn't say things that don't matter very much necessarily, but meaning like, not necessarily like the deep sharing that people were doing on Clubhouse, like about childhood and family trauma. I don't hear that much of that kind of stuff on X these days.
Yeah, no, that's true. I think that some people got their like etiquette together, and those people who were doing that shit like are gone. Um, but yeah, but yeah. So I try not to do that, but like, even with GodCloud on Doomsday, like it took me a really long time to get me comfortable with putting this stuff out and even telling some of the stories and shit. And even for the promo of that, when I was going back to the places where I used to live and where I used to, fuck around at and shit, like that was fucking hard to do.
Hmm.
And anybody who was around me at the time was really like drawn in. I remember I shared this stuff on Facebook too, and people were like, my one homegirl, she's like, "Oh, that's well, where you were staying with what's her nuts?" Like, like,
Oh,
like,
oh shit.
like that shit sucked. Like, all right, like we were fucking raging, but just kind of bringing that back, and you bring other people into it too, just because they remember, they were around me then, and they were like, "Damn, dude,"
Yeah.
and that kind of reminds them of how, you know, how far I've come from where I used to be. So,
Okay,
uh,
but like, where do you have any boundaries, or do you have a line where you're like, okay, well, I'll share this, but I won't share that, like,
yeah,
as
of course, you got to. That's what I was saying.
so like,
Everybody.
how do
How do
you
I
do it by
decide?
like, yeah, like, do you do it like, okay, well, this is gonna make me look bad, but everyone's gonna find it really funny, or do you be like, like, do you have any like, like
Well,
policies here?
yeah.
Here's for example, here's one of mine, right?
Okay.
If I share a personal story, I try to frame it in a way so that it's very obvious how what happened to me cannot happen to you. Like I try to frame it in a way so that it's useful to somebody else, as opposed to just telling a story about myself. I try to say like, make it like useful. So like I try to, and if I can't make it useful, then I won't share it, you know? Or like
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
won't share any
Right.
story that's going to make anyone feel bad unless there's a huge upside for them personally.
Sure. Right.
You know?
Exactly. And that's what I was saying. Like, when sometimes people share something that might, like, if I see somebody sharing something that, like, fuck, I'd be scared to talk about that, but this person's up here talking about it, and now
Right.
I feel a bit better because they are talking about it. You know, that's how I kind of approach it. And obviously, I don't want to say anything that's going to incriminate me or, you know, maybe put my family in a situation, obviously, you know. So
Right.
I kind of, and this might make me sound like so fucking media trained, but if it fits in with the program that I'm running with for that moment, you know, then I feel like it's okay to share. Like, you know, especially with GodCloud on Doomsday, um, because I worked in the ankle monitor situation and part of the promo for that. I you know, worked in just talking about like addiction and everything. Like there was a lot tied into that because I'm like, fucking, why are you singing about this shit on the record? So we can incorporate it into the you know, into the whatever shit. But you know, and it's, but obviously some stuff I fucking keep to myself just because of self-preservation and shit. So I don't really like, yeah. So if I'm gonna like decide like what am I sharing, it's like, all right, does this fit? Just like you were saying, like does this fit the narrative that I'm not even a narrative, but is this going to help reach the desired goal that I'm going
Yeah.
after this today, week, month, year, whatever, you know what I mean? So, and anything, and you know, it was funny. I Google, I not Google, but I asked the AI to tell me about myself. I was like, "Yo, AI,
Ooh.
tell me about GodCloud," and it was really cool. It was like, yeah, it was like GodCloud is an artist who, you know, tries to use his personal struggles to inspire others and shit like that. I'm like, yeah, I guess that's about right, you know, like I don't, and and honestly, like I fucking do this shit because I know at the time, like I felt fucking like this is it, like this is the end of the road for me, you know. And here we go. Here's me sharing something, you know, um, like a lot of people wouldn't share because I think people would be afraid to be. I guess I'm being vulnerable right now. Would People wouldn't like to share something like this because it didn't make them seem like they weren't in control or some shit like that. But at one point, I fucking wasn't. I mean, if you would have asked me back then, I would have told you I was in control. But it was really all the fucking powders that were in fucking control. You dig? So
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
me to be on the other side of that shit, and even back then, yo, like when I would be in the fucking traps with people, you know, especially the elders, be like, yo, what the fuck are you doing here? They were like, yo, you got fucking talent, bro. Like, you're fucking wasting your fucking talent sitting here. They're like, don't be in this shit for too long. They're like, you're wasting your fucking talent. And and yeah, you know, like it was crazy how me just getting clean for, you know, me getting clean and then a year later, not even a year later. Was it a year later? It was less than that.
Amazing.
Yeah. All this Web3 shit happened, and I was like, oh damn, I'm in fucking Hollywood hanging out with, you know, these big names in less than a year after me getting clean. And I'm like, fuck, I guess I should have listened to
No,
homeboy
not
rap.
necessarily. Not necessarily, because you know those same opportunities wouldn't have been there. Everything happens time just right. A wizard is never late, and you're definitely a wizard.
Yeah, and I think that's true. That's 100% true there. Yeah, because I wouldn't have been the same. It wouldn't have been the same. I think if I would have got clean sooner, I probably wouldn't. That's a lot, but yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah. As long as I don't damage myself or my family, that's how I decide on like what I don't share and do share. You know, and it's a fine line.
Mm.
It's a fine line though, because you never know how people would take. You know, me saying what. Because I've heard people be like, "Oh shit!" Like I don't want. I remember one of somebody that I know that I respect a lot. They were like, "Oh yeah, like I don't want a felon to end up with my NFT or some shit like that." And I know they didn't mean it like, you know,
No,
anything.
that's exactly how they meant it.
Well, no, so hold on. So listen, I know they didn't know about my situation and they didn't mean anything to like hurt me. But I was like, hey, listen. Like, I'm that.
Yeah, it's like when people make comments and they don't realize my ethnicity.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
exactly the same. Yeah, I'm that. That thing you're just talking about, that's me, bitch, all day.
Right.
Or at
But
least some percentage of the day, okay? Maybe not all day, but you know, some little part of the day, that shit, that's me.
sure,
Yeah.
but you never
Same
know.
energy. Same energy, yo.
But you never know how, like, me mentioning that would. And honestly, like, I do it because I don't want people who like would think differently of me because I'm that, because I have a felony. I don't want those people around me, you know. So I am out about it from the jump. But I understand how it could make, you know, maybe cause some shit for some family members or something or whatever. But again, like, I don't, you can see, obviously I talk about it, so I don't give a fuck about it, but I understand that it could, you know, whatever, ruffle some feathers, but
You know, I feel you. You know what? I don't do this anymore because I just I don't do this anymore. But for a while, I used to, if I had a job interview at some point during the interview, I would say fuck. And if you weren't allowed to say fuck at the workplace, I didn't want to work there because I didn't want to be a place where I had to put on a mask or like not be myself or whatever like that, you know?
oh, sure. Yes.
Yeah, because that would, to me, that's like you're like building up inauthenticity, being inauthentic. Like if you can't, you know, naturally speak. Now there are a lot of people who don't naturally use fuck when they go to express themselves. I'm not one of those people. You know what I mean? So like if somebody wants to profit with my talent, they're gonna get some fucks. They're gonna be perfectly placed for the best humor, and you know, it's not a word that I use when I'm ever angry. You know what I mean? But that's something, you know, that was kind of my thing for a while. And don't get me wrong, I was disappointed sometimes because I knew I was like, oh, they didn't pass the fuck test because I knew they were vibing. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, I struggled with it because it's like maybe I was upholding this company to like this impossible standard, but it was what I needed to be happy. And I knew that going in. So it's kind of like, you know, I'm going to let somebody know right away. I don't do dishes. Don't ask. You know, you should know what you're getting into. Uh, so
Yeah. No, yeah. And that, so yeah. So I think that the sharing of certain things, you know, um, it, it can kind of help you find the right people, but then you got to be careful of what can be used against you also,
Yeah, like
you
not
know.
doing dishes. Some people are like, well, you need to relax. You need to do dishes like everyone. I'll be like, no, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
No,
someone could
no.
use that against me. Someone could use that against me.
Yeah, no, yeah, right. Like they could put you in a situation and be like, "Hey, do dishes," and then you're like, "I don't want to do dishes," and they're like, "Yo, see how difficult she is? Oh my gosh, you just
And I'll be
won't do
like,
it."
I told you when we why was there this expectation? Why?
Hmm. Yeah. So sharing is it's a slippery slope. I'm not gonna sit here and say that it's not, but you know, I think as long as it fits your overall message, you know, go for it. Like I'm not about to you know, be let's say I'm doing commentary for like wrestling and be like, oh man, like this person overcame these impossible odds just like I overcame addiction. You know what I'm saying? Like no.
Oh,
You know what I mean? One of my buddies that I was commenting when he did some shit like that, and if you ever watch Malcolm, I love you, brother, but this shit was funny. But he was like, yeah, you know, he's like, I was a smaller guy and I had to fight up and, you know, and overcome the impossible odds and this and that. And then I go, and that was getting yourself over with. My buddy. But yeah. Sorry, I had to tell that story too.
Cold, ice cold.
It was funny. I thought it was funny at the time.
Oh my gosh, that's so hilarious, yo. So there's something that I wanted to ask you about. We hadn't ever really talked about it, but we touched on it. We never really talked about it. But I was asking you a while back if you had time to explore any of the AI tools, especially when it comes to like, like breathing life into, old song files or riffs or any of these kinds of things. And I know we touched on it before, but there was a new question that I thought of today that I never even asked you, which was, how do you even feel about, AI and what it does and the use of it,
Yeah, good question. Like
especially the way it's evolved?
Like part of me, like shit, how can I put this? Like the stubborn, egotistical, narcissistic artist in me is like, how fucking dare you, AI? How dare you take my
Train on
speech and
my
do
data.
something with it? Yeah, but at the same time, I'm sitting here fucking posting on social media all day, every day, and people are like, "Hey, man, I saw that you did that. Now I do it too." So like, what's the real difference in that versus AI training on you? It's just I feel like the AI is
Mm.
what we humans do in general. Because again, nobody was just born like completely independent of. Well, okay, so maybe people were born independent of others' influence, but as you start growing up and developing, you're catching influences from everywhere, everything, and that shapes how you speak, it shapes how you act, it shapes your whole fucking,
Oh yeah.
personality and your persona. So musically, if you're gonna tell me, and it's this something too, is I remember you were saying something about how you have friends who don't want to listen to other people's music, or somebody was saying this when we were on the
Yeah, it
road.
was
Somebody was
me.
saying,
It was me. Yeah, no, let me tell you what I was saying is that I have certain friends who, if they're working on an album, like they're producing an album, they will not listen to any other song. But the problem is they're always producing some album or other. So it's like basically, they just never want to have like any outside influences because they don't want they're concerned that it will influence whatever the thing they're doing.
but that's okay. That's
I'm not
fucking
saying that
bullshit
it's a
because
truth. That's yeah, it sounds
yeah,
like
but it's like
bullshit,
you've
right?
heard music in the past. That shit
I
is in your
know.
fucking head. The fuck?
Yeah, I know.
Like I like Maxximillian, the
It sounds
DuckTales
like
theme
bullshit.
song will probably play in my head on repeat for
DuckTales.
at least like
Ooh.
45 minutes out of the day. Like,
Oh my god.
hold up.
I know the song. DuckTales. Ooh. Now that sounds like My Sharona. My Sharona.
Wait, yeah, that's it. DuckTales is down a half step.
DuckTales.
Yeah,
Ooh.
shit is fucking funky as fuck. So, and
DuckTales.
I
Ooh.
dare say that everyone from our generation has heard fucking DuckTales, and if you're gonna tell me that shit don't pop into your head at some point during just life,
I
you're
mean, like, I always felt like, he just didn't want to hear the song. Because now I understand if you just thought of a riff and you're trying to get to a recorder and record it before you forget it. I understand that. But no, it's something that I've heard like many, many times. And it's like I can't help but feel what you're saying. I totally feel what you're saying. It's like, mm. Mm. It's not like any of those friends has ever called and be like, all right, I'm done with the album. Let me hear that banger.
Yeah, right.
So whatever that is.
Now you got me playing my Sharona.
What can I call that? I know, right? DuckTales, My Sharona.
Yeah, DuckTales, I think it's in F sharp. My Sharona's in G. So, and they're
Same
both that
vibes.
octave. That. My Sharona's like do batter do bat boo bat boo do 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 da da do ba 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 ba. And DuckTales has during the like after the bridge it goes, I think it goes up. It's a key change. I can't remember how much it goes up, but it goes. I got to listen to it again to like
Theme
really hear it.
songs are some of the most well orchestrated songs, just period. They're meant
Come
to be
on,
sticky.
like
But wait, to the
oh,
topic though,
oh
So
yeah,
you
sorry.
so no, it's all good. But so you feel like it's just par for the course. It's just a part of the evolution of data science, kind of.
Yeah, it's like shit. Like even looking at my guitar collection, like you could tell that I was a big Nirvana fan because I have like the
Hmm.
I got like Jaguar. I have one Jaguar. I've got a Jag Master. I've got a Cyclone, which is kind of like a Mustang. Copy Circle Bane played Mustangs. I got a Fernandez Retro Rocket, which is which I didn't understand back in the day when I was a kid that you could get different necks and pop them on, different bodies. So this
Ooh.
Fernandez that I have is kind of like it was supposed to be the vandalism strat that Kurt had, but I didn't understand like how does he have a Fernandez neck that looks different than the Fernandez at the store, but the body looks like a fucking straight up strap body. I just didn't get it. But yeah,
Mm.
like and even that in itself, that period of my life where I was so all about Nirvana and Kurt Cobain, that's still here. That's still right now. Like my first the track that I did that got me like my first 30,000 streams I did with this guitar here. And this is, again, it's my Jag thing that I had earlier, right? This is designed by Kurt Cobain, so it's the woods that he wanted and all this and that stuff. So that sound is in my sound. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
even
The
if I'm
thing
not,
is, the thing is, GodCloud, my friend, is that uh the sound, okay, so that's more like you still have to have the skill, right? To be able to make use of that sound that you're inspired by, right? But with AI, there's still some skill required, but by far, you can just capture so much of and really dial into a style or aesthetic that another person has created with little to no effort whatsoever and little to no skill either. Because unlike guitar skills, so like I have a guitar hanging right on the wall right here. I'm going to start practicing it too, but I haven't been practicing it. I like right now I'm like really very motivated to learn about DeFi and understand how to make money trading. And there's only so many hours in the day, and I want to learn that right now a little bit more than practice guitar at this time. As soon as I get a little more time slot, I'm finding a way to put in, time every day because I know that's what is required of me, right? But that being said, I can't copy your style without some level of skill. Like, even if I buy the guitar, I can't suddenly play well because I buy the guitar. But with AI, if I have your prompt or if I can prompt my way to your skill. It's not the same with real
sure,
time.
sure, okay, yeah. And here's the thing though, and here's the thing. It's like, yeah, you can do that, but what's the and you know, like I could be wrong on this, but I feel like the reason why we're drawn to music like we are is due to the struggle that uh not even a struggle, but the effort from the person to create it. It's like, damn, they could sing, you know, like shit, like this person is singing, and I think that that will always be more valuable than like an AI that can mimic a good voice, you know, because
You
there's some,
won't know. Like,
but
okay,
like,
so like this is
well,
another, so
hold on,
here's
wait,
another
hold on, let me
question.
finish.
Oh,
Hold on,
but you're
hold
saying
on,
you would know?
no, 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 no. I'm not saying that I would know. It's like, but when it comes down to you wanting to get close to that artist, is that's what you know. That's what. If you can just like listen to music, then okay, then I don't know, then like happy trails, I guess. But me, and again, back to the Nirvana thing. I heard Teen Spirit. I'm like, who are these cats? I gotta find out more. What's going on? Oh, okay, it's three dudes. Oh wow, no shit. But if you heard something and found out it was AI, like what I feel like that excite that you wanted that connection is it's that you get cheated out of that. And that's
Yeah.
why I don't think that it has the same value as like somebody who's really fucking singing, you know, versus being like, okay, yeah, this is some AI bot that's just doing it. That's not the same. It's not the same. It's like I don't know. It's almost like having sex with a robot almost. But again, now somebody takes some AI stuff and they mold it into something, or you know, actually make it into something. That's the human struggle. That's the story there. That's where I'm interested. That's when I want to find out more about. Oh, how do you use your AI? Oh, you did it like that. Okay, but when it's just the AI just spitting out a prompt, it's not the same to me as because you can't get that connection there. So that's what I'm saying. It's not about being able to tell if it's AI or not.
So
Does it
what
have that human effort to it?
so what I'm saying is the creation part though. Like, do you feel like there is some stealing that's happening when AI is training on songs that other people created? Do you feel like musicians are owed money for AI being trained or on our centuries of music, or do you feel like nothing's owed? Just curious.
I mean, if the companies are making money, then yeah, like they should definitely, you know, like if the companies are charging people to use these AIs that they're being trained on, then yeah, because I think when that happens, the contract of universal inspiration is voided. Like if you're like singing a song on Instagram Live or whatever, I could just drop in and tune in and listen, and you're singing something, and I'm like, damn, this is inspiring me. You know, I can do it. You know, as long as there's no plagiarism or anything like that, I can be inspired by that. Go do something. And I feel like if I came back and said, Maxximillian, I was really inspired by what you were doing on that live, and I've done this, you know, and let's say you might notice some similarities or whatever. Maybe like, oh, you did a time signature changer, so I did my own type of time signature change. I feel like you would be like, oh wow, like damn, like bit
I'll be
flattered,
like,
right?
he used my song as a template. Lazy bastard. You lazy motherfucker.
Oh my god. Let's see. Like,
You dirty
okay.
so-and-so. Blank my blank. You blankety blank.
Hey, that's fine. I say that. Don't
I
AI
was
me.
trying to steal it. I was trying to steal it so you get the vibes, okay?
No, but I don't know. Like I honestly,
See
I'd be
how it
like, oh
felt when
damn.
I said blank my blank. I changed it. I made it mine. Oh, but did I?
But listen, I'll be honest. Like, but okay. Now right there, I feel like that was funny. Like, go ahead, like you want to use my thing, rock with it. But now, let's say you start making T-shirts that say "blank my blank," and you're
Okay,
selling
well,
them.
the difference though is
Now I'm
that
gonna
I
be
said it
like,
to you.
hey,
There's another thing too. Like, I think it was funny because I said it to you and it's your joke. But if I was on somebody else's podcast and I said it, I would be stealing your joke. It's not the same.
okay, yeah, right. So back to my analogy. So
So,
let's
like,
say,
this was me joking with you. This joke was actually for you. It wasn't me stealing your joke. You know what I mean?
right. So back to my analogy. Like,
Yeah.
you're singing on live. I'm like, damn, hey, I make something and I come back to it and I'm like, yo, hey, listen, you inspired me. So I like, check this out. I feel like that's different
I mean,
than,
is it like, no, my song goes doon 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 doon. His song goes doon 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 doon. My
no.
okay.
No. Not like a copy or something like, no Vanilla Ice type shit, but I'm just saying, like, if you wrote, like if you wrote a song about like a breakup or something, and then
Yeah.
I also write a song about a breakup, but it's my own, situation, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh hey, your breakup song inspired me to write my
Oh
breakup
yeah.
song.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. So I feel like that is just a universal like inspiration laws. That's just it. You're gonna inspire somebody. It's just what's gonna fucking happen, Like,
But you still have to do the work of writing the thing. And
right.
the work that's happening is coming from your unique inspiration. It's not like
Yes. Right.
right? And so like I can't claim even if you say that you were inspired by something I did, I can't claim any part of your creativity. I can't claim any part of your lyrics or harmony if it wasn't, if it wasn't something that I wrote. So, I just
Well,
feel like
okay.
the inspiration, you still have to do the work of coming up with the words. And I guess what I'm saying is like with AI, depending on there's I guess this is what I'm saying. With AI, there's a wide range of work that a person could choose not to do, right?
Right.
And it's that range. Like if and I will start sharing more videos about a little bit of my process because I don't like to teach, right? But I do recognize that by sharing with people what I do, it helps people understand the value of what I put into the work that I do. But there's some people that they use AI and they don't do any touches afterwards for visual art. And for some people, that is their signature. They want to try to make it perfect using only words, right? But then you have other artists, and I want to give a shout out to Chaz Gold for who might spend 20 hours, painting on something after AI has, they're using AI as like a draft of something, and the AI output is not by any long shot a finished product. It's a part of an iteration, you know. So there's like this wide range of like how deeply someone uses it, and I think for that reason, it's uh, like not prudent to say like, oh, that's not music, or I wouldn't like this or that because you know you're talking about something academic, but music isn't academic. It's subjective and it's like vibes and so many other things. And if you heard a song and you liked it because it resonated with you, that doesn't change because you don't like the person who sings it. You just might be, you feel conflicted, right? You'd be like, damn, I wish I didn't like that Drake song so much, right?
Yeah. And so, but that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, so let's back it up a little bit. So with the
Yeah.
compensation things, I want to definitely like button that up.
Yeah.
If the companies that are making the AIs, right? If they are making money by getting all this stuff, all this data from artists, I think that yes, because from what I understand, is that you got to pay to use some of this stuff, right? Like there's pay, like you got to pay to use, you know, certain AIs, right? So
Okay, well, wait a minute. Like, what about we're talking about like whether or not it was ethical or whether or not it's ethical for the companies to like use the data that's out there to train models. But what about now? This is where I'm asking you, like, we're talking about kind of like social rules and social etiquette, and like, what about that rule about if something's in public that you don't really have an expectation of privacy, right? So when it comes to like the work of famous artists where their paintings are in museums and so on, or do you know what I mean? Like, at what point
yeah,
is something okay? You smell
right.
what I'm cooking.
Yes, no, right. And this is what I'm saying. If okay, like if you're putting your stuff out just into the public and you're like, hey, this is me, here it go. Fair, fair game, fair game. But I think when it gets to the point where you're where there's companies that are putting up paywalls to
Mm.
to make tools to do all that shit for you. Because I think that the trade-off is I'm gonna do this, you get inspired by it, you do the work to make it your own shit. That's the trade-off. That's the like, hey, I'll sell you the soft, but you gotta cook it yourself. You gotta get your own baking soda, your own ice, your own spoon. You gotta do your own shit. Fucking don't get the butane and the shit and whatever the fuck, you know. That's you. But if there's a machine or something that is doing that part for the other people, but these
Yeah.
people are making money off of that, that voids the other contract. Because I feel
Yeah, I
like
know what you're
it
saying.
you know what I mean? So
Because it was
that's
like
what I'm saying.
public
Like
goods
then
in a way.
in that case, I think that these things should keep track of who they pull from to compensate because they're getting compensated. You know what I mean? Uh and again, it's different if I post something on IG, you like, oh damn, GodCloud, I really like those 808s, da 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 da. You know, like and this happens quite a bit with me where people are like, yo, dude, I like that snare, I like that sound, da 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 da. And I'm like, it's on my website, go buy it. You know, like I've worked hard to make that. That's the rules I'm setting up, da 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 da. But if you want to try to work and make your own, I'm not gonna be mad at you for trying to copy my snare. Fucking go for it. Like that makes me feel really proud that somebody is trying to do that. Now, if there was a machine that could listen to my shit and copy it, and a motherfucker could say GodCloud snare, and they're paying that motherfucker for it. Now I'm like, hey, whoa, what just happened? Now I'm raising my eyebrow, you know.
Okay,
So yeah,
but what if the person is putting GodCloud snare, but the program is just researching, learning what a GodCloud snare sounds like, and then creating something that it imagines will give the same vibe. It's not actually going through the internet, grabbing your snare and presenting it to this person.
and is the person who's typing that in paying people to do that, paying that machine to do that?
What if they're not?
If they're not, then okay, all right. Because then I feel like that's the equivalent of that's just like the faster like way of getting that inspiration. But my thing is that if there's that paywall, then there needs to be some compensation for the data that's
Okay, but
being
what if
pulled.
some people are paying and some people are not? You know, there's like a free tier and there's a paid tier.
Then they need to pay because there's a paid tier. If they're making money,
Okay,
then they gotta fucking pay.
but do
But
you
if
think
it's all
sometimes?
free,
Mm,
if it's all free, then you know that's the thing. It's if it's all free, then you gotta still do some work to do whatever. But because I'm assuming, and again, I don't use these tools, so
mm.
I'm doing a lot of guesswork here, you know. But I again, if there's a paid tier, that means it has to be a more refined, you know, execution on the paid side, right? So again, I don't know. I don't really
So you
use
just
like
get
AI.
more like so like a paid tier. So a paid tier would mean usually that you get faster generations. You get more features, more robust, just like paid Twitter. You know, there's like a
Okay.
free Twitter and there's paid, you get more robust features. So like with a paid AI, I get faster generations, more consequent generations. So I can have like 8 or 12 or 16 jobs going at the same time. What else? More generations, like there's not maybe there's not a daily limit on how many images I can generate or videos. Sometimes paid tier means I can generate 10-second long videos instead of only 4-second long videos. I could go
Okay.
on, but
Okay. Yeah. And again, it all goes back to like, hey, if they're charging to get this inspiration and whatever, and then yeah, then I think that's that there should definitely be some compensation or how can I put this? Or maybe not. I know like a lot of the sample pack companies, they can't just come out and say, "Oh, hey, this is a weekend style sample pack," They can't like put that name on there. So they'll say like, "Hey, this is like I think I have like a cymatics pack that's called like the luxure or some shit pack, and it's supposed to be the weekend like
they
and
say if you love The Weekend, you'll love.
yeah, some shit like that, or like yeah, right, and that's kind of what you're talking about, like, hey, this is what we imagine is these sounds. But from what I understand about AI, and I know you just said that it's like reimaginings. And
Mhm.
maybe things have evolved since then, but I remember this one story how somebody or how like Getty image watermarks were popping up in certain AI uh, things or whatever. So, and that's just on the visual side of things. So who knows what it's pulling from in the audio
Same.
uh,
I
thing.
saw
Yeah.
some
Okay.
YouTube videos. I saw some YouTube videos where you could clearly hear the audio watermark of a well-known producer.
Yeah, okay, okay, boom, we're right there. Shit. So yeah, so then it's not necessarily like doing these reimaginings, it's just snatching little bits of everything. And if that's the case, then yeah, they should fucking definitely pay. Like because if you did that, if you were making sample packs with just chopped up songs, if you were just taking, like whatever the fuck, I don't know, like Rick Ross, I just couldn't think of anybody in time. Like you just take like a Rick Ross song, split all the stems up, and start selling those sample packs and say, hey, this is a Rose sample pack or whatever the fuck, but it's got all those actual Rick Ross things, or even if they're mixed up a little bit or whatever the fuck, it's like, yo, like, nah, can't do that. And if you are doing that, you should compensate. So that's what I think. Like, if these AI
Mhm.
companies are going to doing this shit and allowing that, then they should pay up to the artists that they are, piecing these
But
things
the difference
from.
is, but the difference is, I want to make this really clear for everyone. In your example, the samples actually were taken from the original media. In the case of AI, it's not taken from the original media. It is mimicking
So it's
patterns.
mimicking the
It's mimicking
watermarks and shit in
no,
there
no,
too.
yeah, yes, it is. It's mimicking patterns. So what it does is it recognizes patterns, and like everything is a token. So like the word A is a token, certain chains of letters or certain chains of notes, certain little chains of information is like a token. Certain tokens are often found together. Do you know what I mean? And so it recognizes patterns and it puts together a pattern. So let's say, just for example, you tell AI, render me an apple, right? It's gonna look at apples. It's gonna see red apples, green apples, all the fucking different apples, right? And it's gonna come back and it's gonna give you a general shape of an apple and a general size, right? But then if you say a red apple, then it's gonna narrow it down even more. But it's still patterning. It's looking for a pattern of what is an apple, what is a red apple, what are the characteristics, and it's piecing it together: shape, size, color, context, right? And it's reimagining what it is that you're asking for. It's not actually going out into the internet and finding one image that has an apple in it and grabbing that apple and then presenting it to you as new. That's not what it's doing.
Yeah. No. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is like, if let's say I made, like GodCloud, like GodCloud. Let's say that for whatever reason somebody says, "Yo, I want GodCloud, whatever, this or that." Now, I've got that shit trademarked. AI spits out a fucking thing that says GodCloud on it. That's mine. That's mine. And if it's like, okay, and imagine that shit, but still, that's mine. Now, if it did some shit, if it's got a watermark in it, I trust that, you know, these watermarks are technically like trademarks, right? So if it's pulling a piece of a trademark thing, even if it's imagining it, even if it's whipping it up from fucking scratch, that's somebody's, you know? Even if they're just like made it up. That's why you can't go on Mickey Mouse for profit.
It's like, you know, when you're listening to a song, like right at the beginning, I'm going to tell you, like right at the beginning, one of these songs that I used to love by Jay-Z, right at the beginning, it's like the violins and it goes, DJ Clue. Right?
Yeah,
now that's a shout out, right? But it's also a watermark. You know, that's a DJ Clue track. And so like a lot of times, like DJs, especially and like beat makers, when they put their beats out, they'll have those kind of shout out style watermarks. So it's like, you know, we're calling it a watermark, but it could have been mimicking a shout out. Do you know what I'm saying?
Sure, but if it's still doing that stuff and charging people again, I think that the AI people should be paying the stuff that it's getting inspired by. Because that's just my ethos. If this person ain't gonna do the work to get the inspiration from the stereo, from the ether, from wherever, then, and if they're not gonna do that, then this thing should be doing that for them for free, or this thing should be paying the things that it's pulling from. That's because
because you're saying that no one should eat off another person's work, and they're not eating off of it also. So you're saying that since they're making money, they should share that money. Not that they shouldn't be making money off of it, but that they should be sharing it.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah. They should be sharing some of that with whatever they're pulling with AI company. They should be like, okay, what data are we looking at? We're looking at data from this to that. We've got Metallica, we got the Beatles, da 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 da. Okay, so anytime somebody pays us and they use shit from these, we'll kick them something for, you know, whatever, pulling from their stuff. That's how I think they should do it.
So how much would this data be worth to you? Like, you know, what if it turns out that it's like, you know, like, I mean, like, can we just imagine for a moment what the payouts for something like that could look like? And let me just tell you for context, right? Some commercials or like some TV episodes that I did a long time ago, sometimes I get checks for like pennies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes royalties can be incredibly small, you know, so I don't know, you know, if these royalty checks would look more like my checks at when I just finished the series, or if they would look like my checks 10 years after the series, or like 40 years after the series. But, you know, is that like, does that have any influence over your feel like it should get paid? So like, what if it turned out that there actually was a way to track all of all of your personal content that was used to train a model? Somebody figured it out, let's just say. And if there was a calculator and you went online, tack, and you said, oh, wow, I can see how much I'm owed for the year. And what if the whole thing amounted to like $18?
Then
would you be like, that's my $18? Okay, now wait a minute. Now, what if the whole thing amounted to 18 cents?
Then give me my dime, my nickel, and my 3 pennies. Like,
Okay, all
okay,
right.
so like I'll turn it
All
around on
right.
you. Like, what if
Okay.
they were just like, yo, these royalty checks are too small, we're not sending them to you anymore? Are you gonna be like, okay? You're gonna be like, no, I'm owed that, right? Give me my little checks, right?
You might be surprised to learn that there actually is a program at the SAG-AFTRA Guild where you can tell them, please stop sending these checks. They're too small. And they just start transferring those 7 and 8 pennies and 41-cent checks and those $1.41 checks and so on. They just transfer it into like a slush kind of account thingy. Yeah, it's a little check. It's like a little tick mark or something. I remember seeing it. It's like a program. It's like if your check gets so small. And then I remember for a while, now I don't know if they're still doing it. I don't think they are necessarily, but I remember for a while there was this restaurant. It's like a really famous restaurant. And if you bring in your check, that it's like under $1 or something like that, and you give it to them, they'll put it on the wall and they'll give you a free shot, something like that.
Oh
So I'm
wow.
saying like there's a little subculture of like very tiny royalty checks. Like, what do you do when you get that? I mean, I got a check one time and it was like the postage cost more than the check
Yeah.
was.
No, I know. And it's the same in music and shit too.
Yeah, I know.
Like
That's what I'm
just
saying. So
watching.
like
Yeah.
it is your feeling like, hey, you train on my data, so you need to pay me. Is any of that like influenced by what if it's only a few pennies? Or
No, 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 no. And that's the thing. Like, listen, my dad, even like we'd be like going to Perkins, hopping out of his fucking Porsche, and he'd see a fucking dime on the ground and be like, ah, you know. So and I'm not about to sit here and act like I haven't like wasted money, but if my stuff is being used, there needs to be some effort in compensation. And even if the postage is worth more than the shit, at least y'all are spending some fucking money to get me something. At least y'all aren't completely eating stress free off of me. Like,
right.
I don't care. Like, even if it's like even if you got to bring me a fucking nickel, I'm gonna make it hard for you to get to my door, type shit. You know what I mean? Like, just to get stress y'all out for using my shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's I'm gonna set like cow traps and shit, and like have
Booby traps.
yeah, booby traps and shit. But so but seriously though, like, yeah, like and that's and I feel this way because the beauty of the struggle of kind of pulling these sounds out of the ether, or just feeling like, 'cause, I don't know, like I love that shit. Like, I think that's part of why I'm a musician, because I love just like kind of wrapping up in this like blanket of sound and getting warm from that. And that warmth is what I put out, that warmth
Yeah.
is like what GodCloud is. Like, GodCloud is the fucking mix of me loving fucking Nirvana, Marilyn Manson, fucking Styles P, Jaco Pastorius, Square Pusher.
Jaco Pastorius.
Yeah,
Square Pusher, yeah.
it's like all this shit. It's like all this stuff. And I'm trying to get my brain to make it into something that I can be like, hey, y'all, like, check this out, listen to this. And that's it. That's what makes it like, oh, damn. It's like me watching fucking Clayshawn play violin. It's like, fuck, it's like, this dude's fucking killing this shit. And even if there was an AI playing beautiful violin, it's not the same, because I'm like, yo, bro's been playing since he was 3. He's had to suffer and learn and practice and keep
See,
trying
there
to
you
keep
go
up.
again. It's interesting. I just have to point this out is that like, for you, the hardship of learning anything is a big value addition. That's like the
Yeah,
third
yeah,
time you've mentioned suffering.
yeah. But
If
no,
you haven't suffered, I don't want to hear your
that's
song.
the
You
shit
don't
though.
know about the blues.
No, but
You don't know about
it's
the blues.
and it's because like it for me anyway, it starts making my wheels turn about like this person had to steel themselves to get through this shit, to make this shit fucking happen, you know? And that's why, and again, and this is why I say I appreciate artists who use AI and mold it into something, because they have to do the same thing. Because the AI doesn't
The
always
work.
put out something that's something easy to use. And and just like, you brought up Chaz Gold. Like, I look at his shit and I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, how the fuck did you do that? Like, and he'll explain like, oh, I used the AI to make this, but then I did this, did that. It's like that's fucking dope. That's fucking incredible, you know. And yeah, and that's just what it's just dope to see. And I think this is just the human struggle in general. This is probably why I like wrestling so much. I'm going to tie this shit into pro wrestling. You know, you there's always a story within within wrestling, and people always are like, well, why do you like it? It's fake. It's It's like, it's because it's this fucking story. Like, whether you think it's real or fucking not, if you are watching something and you see a bigger guy whooping the shit out of a smaller guy, but every now and then the smaller guy is catching him, and it's like, oh shit, is he about to do it? Then the big bow. No, it's like, oh shit, but he got him. He got him. I think if he gets him with a couple more of those shots, he could turn it around. You're starting to get invested, and that's what I see with artists. They start getting after this stuff. They start getting after this stuff, and they get somewhere with it, and then they might plateau, and they got to get back after it. They got to get back after it, and it's like, holy shit. That's why it's always such a fucking blessing when somebody comes out with one album that was great. Then their next album's even fucking better. You're like, oh shit. Like,
Well, listen to this, GodCloud. Listen to this. Amazon has partnered with Suno for a new integration with Alexa, allowing users to generate AI songs on command using voice prompts.
better be free.
So imagine, you're listening, you're like, Alexa, play, some Drake song or whatever. And then your girlfriend says, I don't want to listen to Drake, he's canceled or whatever, right? So you go, all right, Alexa, play me a song that sounds like Drake. You know what I mean?
Oh God. I'm getting out of that relationship ASAP.
But I'm saying, it's not only like an AI powered search. It's not like, because we've already been able to do that, but this is like Amazon partnering with Suno for voice prompted AI music generation on the fly.
Yeah, that's wild.
They trying to take someone's lunch. Not my lunch, but somebody's.
Yeah, that's crazy. And again, I think we're like, I'm trying to think of like what, because I don't know. Like, I used that one thing that Blau came out with because they were like, yo, you might win some money if you do
Endless?
this.
Or what are you talking about?
Is that it? Is that what it is?
I don't know. Because I know Blau is involved in many projects, but when you said that, Endless was the first thing that came into my mind. Is it a DAW that never stops? It's constantly recording? No?
No,
Oh, well, what are you talking about? Let
I
me
don't know.
Blau? What Blau made what?
Yeah, he spells the B is with a 3, so it's 3
Yeah.
LAU.
Yeah. So what was the thing?
Oh, yeah. So I
Blau
had it make
AI?
me like, no, I have to check in my. Hold on, let me check really quick, so I can just go into.
I see Blau AI is in the music program.
No, hold on. How do I get to my NFT? Oh, here we go. Oh, it's called Sonic. Sonic by Royal.
Sonic by Royal.
Yeah, yeah. So I
Never.
had it.
Hmm.
Yeah. He had some things like, yo, use this and blah, blah, blah. So I used it, and within it, I could hear the clear, like, Metallica, like, reference, and the clear, like, Bullet for My Valentine's. I had to make me a metal song, and I could just hear the, like, the clear, but it was so, like, wonky too. It was just like, James Hetfield's got that in his, like, type shit that he does. It was just, like, so overpowering and, like, loud. It was like, whoa, what the fuck was that? So I just remember that like really standing out to me and being funny. But yeah, like, I'm not, I can't just, I don't know. Again, with me, the part of the music that makes me connect with, I keep fucking hitting my hand. The part of the music that makes me
Oh.
connect with the other artists is that, like, yo, homie had to fucking grind it out to make this shit happen. Like, when Square Pusher, like, made Feed Me Weird Things on Reel to Reel. Like, I love being able to tell that. I love telling I love when I talk about Square Pusher, I can tell that shit. Because I honestly, I'm like, I'm so glad I didn't have to make music on tape. I'm so glad I didn't have to do that shit. 'Cause I'm like, yo, like, early MIDI was hard enough. Fucking tape would have been a nightmare, yo. I'm like, yo,
So expensive.
yeah, it's like a
The
motherfucker making music
pressure.
on tape. Right. I'm like, I'm so glad I could just be like, delete, bring it back, let's go, and yeah. So that Amazon thing is really interesting. I'm curious to see how my kid's gonna play with that, because I know she's gonna be like screaming at the thing. I'm really curious to see what she does with something like that,
Oh
because
yeah.
she loves the Alexa, yo, and she can, and
Oh
she's getting to the,
really?
yeah, oh yeah, she's getting to the point where she can, because before, I don't know if they have it set up to, like, not recognize kid voices or some shit, but
That would be good.
now, now she's like, yo, Alexa, do this, do that, and I'm curious to see how she will, once that shit gets rolling, if she's gonna start making songs with it.
Well, the keywords are Alexa, write me a song, and then
And it's working
you
now?
elaborate. Yeah, I mean, I think so. Let's see. I see everyone talking trash about it. I think they just made the announcement, but they do have the AI native SDK.
What's that?
So, um, so that you could build your own application for Alexa.
Oh, no shit. Okay. Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta check into that.
Yeah, an AI native SDK. So yeah, so like, what would you build for Alexa GodCloud? Alexa, give me a GodCloud riff and some finger drums. Alexa, make a GodCloud sample pack and sell it on the internet for.
Baby, motherfucker. I don't. The Alexa app that I would like. I don't. You know what? Shit. Like, even off of music, I would want something that could, like, find me some fucking toys, yo. Like, yo, Alexa, pull me up a motherfucking.
She can. She probably can.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm sorry I told you. Don't tell Mrs. Cloud it was me. Don't tell Mrs. Cloud it was me. Well, shoot, GodCloud, it's so nice seeing you. It's always lovely to see you. But I know you're over your time. It's Friday. It's the end of the week, and I'm sure you are so ready to go toy shopping. Since I just reminded you that Alexa can find you some hot ass toys.
Yeah, I already done. I'm about to be hitting my budget soon anyway. My new Toy Connect. He said he's got that one figure coming, and I already ordered a bunch. And I'm like, ugh. So I'm like, yo, man, like I don't have this one with that battle damage. So I gotta get that. Like I don't have anywhere to put any of these things anymore. Like,
Oh my gosh, I can only imagine.
but
You
I
know
just
what?
found out
For
the
me,
price went up on this guy.
What?
I said I just found out the price went up on this guy. Check this out. Got a pull string.
Oh, that sound. Please, will you make me a sample with that sound, yo? I want that sound, yo. That's a great sound. Come on, that's fire. Tell me that's not fire. You know that's a fire sound.
Oh yeah, yo. Yeah. And I this one's worth probably about $80. I got him for $15, probably worth $80 because he has his hair intact and the pull string still works, and he's got this little piece of armor right here, which I think somebody glued on, which I'm thankful for because you can't find him with the armor and the hair and the string intact.
Aww. GodCloud, I can't wait to see your action figure. I know that day is coming.
It's coming. It's coming.
I know.
I got to get my arms a little bigger so when they sculpt them, it looks more. Wanted to be the most heroic sculpt that they can make.
Yeah, I'm gonna have my action figures too. Maybe they can be like when they get together, they start laughing. Your action figure and my action figure, when you push them close enough together, they start laughing.
Like the Linkables. You gotta have them take a
Exactly.
song or some shit. Yeah.
Exactly. That's right. Oh my gosh. Well, wait, I've got your QR code up. Do you want to holler at everybody? Let us know what you got going on this weekend. What's going on in your world?
Sure. Man, what am I doing? I was supposed to go to a show tonight. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I'm fucking tired. I had free tickets to the show around the corner, but I'm fucking tired. But yeah, yo, GodCloud videos coming out. We're getting the footage from the tour and everything. So hey, kiddo. So we're getting the footage from the tour and everything. So look out for that. I might do a dump on Drip just to do it because I feel like I left everybody high and dry, even though it's Epsilana. But yeah, I might just do a dump on Drip just to, show everybody everything. But yeah, gonna be working on putting some stuff together, getting the footage together, dropping some stuff on my website. But yeah, gonna be making some new stuff too. I got the Force fired up as per usual. I love doing my sound design. This thing makes some wild sounds. Like, hold on. There it is. Yeah, Force is freaking fantastic. This thing is the best.
Amazing. Oh gosh, I'm looking forward to getting into some of my new sounds as well.
It's on my shirt.
Found your shorts. Oh, show what's on your shirt. Oh, look at that. Oh, God.
Oh, GodCloud. That is so adorable. My gosh. What a cutie. Let me get this out of the way there. What a cutie.
You want what?
My birthday dress.
Your birthday dress? You mean that little one that you were wearing when you turned like 1? What?
Yeah,
Mommy had, okay. All right. We gotta go. She wants her 1-year-old birthday dress or whatever. Careful with Daddy sees, baby. Oh, those got battery acid. Honey, look out. Daddy's got to clean those. Got battery acid.
Did you say battery acid?
Yeah, I got these electro binoculars. I found them, and I guess the batteries exploded. And okay, very good. Dylan. Whoa, careful.
Beep, 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 beep.
Are you a robot? All right, y'all. We love y'all. We'll catch y'all later next week. I gotta go.
All right. I'll see you soon, GC. Take
All
care.
right. Later. Peace.
Peace. Always fun to hang out with GodCloud. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I know we got started a little later today, but that's how it is sometimes. Still catching up. But it's really been nice spending some time with you. And let me just check on the chat and see who's dropped in. Always feel free to leave any comments or questions in the chat. I do keep an eye on it. It's been really fun spending time with you, and I'm going to sign off and get out there and enjoy some of this sunshine. Let me see what the weather is just right now, because I mean, like, I'm looking outside. I mean, it looks so super nice. Like, I mean, it's looking up 69 degrees. You know I gotta go. Get some of that sunshine. My name is Maxximillian, and I will see you next week, Friday. That's Friday at 12:12 p.m. See you soon. Take care.